Aha, there we go.
Yeah, but I can't see my satsang screen anymore.
Welcome, mighty companions. This is our Movies and Miracles Marathon for Wonder Woman, 1984. Aha, there we go. Oh. So we'll just start with the light of divine being, join in light, and ask Jesus what's most helpful to look at in this joining.
Let's just all laugh.
Techie.
I have no idea what just happened. Okay.
We can see you and hear you.
You can see me?
Yeah.
I can't see any of you. You all disappeared. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh.
We were hearing the desire for an experience of weakness and limitation to avoid divine function.
Mm.
And I definitely heard yes immediately for that. Because I can see how this is a really good joining, shows us that contrast with the light and being in function and the desire to avoid it at all cost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Through the desire for weakness and limitation.
Yeah. You know, I felt resistance, but this morning, watching the video that was posted for the daily lesson, but I just put it on anyway.
Yeah.
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 And then eventually it just dissolved, the resistance. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're seeing that in the movies too, where the character at first she didn't really want to look. And then
what was that guy's name?
the
Paul?
main character, the Max Lord was
Paul her boyfriend?
Oh, Steve.
Steve.
Yeah.
I can't remember names, but
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
Steve. So yeah, for a while she didn't want to look. It was like, oh, Steve's back. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm enjoying this, trying on clothes and walking around the museum.
It was good. She didn't wait too long though, because
it's true.
She
was in function, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
She's starting to weaken.
It was just, you could see trying to hold on to both, it's like trying to keep both.
Yeah.
Trying to keep the desire and the divine function. Doesn't work together.
Yeah.
So we can just look at the relishing right now, just kind of get in touch with the energy of it and see what Jesus has to say about it. We welcome the light and we just focus on the light. And we ask Jesus what miracles to perform. And we can also ask if we're holding or releasing. Yay. The donkey chorus.
That was beautiful.
Serenade.
I don't know Jack.
That was good. Yeah, anything that brings up laughter, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, even in the movie it was kind of lighthearted, even though she was facing some seemingly very serious looking obstacles.
Yeah, I was just remembering that he created an opportunity for her to act in faith and make the plane invisible because she didn't know if that was going to work or not.
Yeah,
So
he was calling her back into function.
Yeah, that was a leap of faith right there.
See.
So he was a mighty companion in disguise.
Yeah, for each other.
Yeah, it got completely retranslated by spirit.
Yeah.
That relationship. Yeah. Yeah. It's a beautiful demonstration of that. Okay, do we hear holding or releasing?
There's some releasing and a little bit of holding, but not
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't done much relishing yet.
Okay. We'll just pause and be remembering the light is here, and
The light we share, the only thing that is real.
yeah. If there's holding, then we can look and we can ask Jesus what the investment is, what's the value. And I'll restate the desire, which is the desire for an experience of weakness and limitation to avoid divine function.
This is where like some confusion comes in, because like today I felt an open feeling, and then I was like, oh, if I just start walking towards the weed whacker, then there will be an opening there, and there wasn't. And I've had that happen before. And then another day I will just go out and do it, and it's like function, bam, there.
Yeah.
So I guess that relates to yesterday's solutions and form, but
yeah, something that is in one moment divine function, in another moment could be a denial.
that must feel confusing. Yeah, it feels to the ego.
It's the prompt to ask, and you can see the contraction, and then quickly join with Jesus or a brother and say, okay, I have a desire, and then see what the desire is. Okay, what is the desire for the experience right now?
Yeah, what I just heard is, even though accepting emotions isn't the way, accepting guidance is the way. So if guidance has me walk out the door and like around the block, and I don't have any understanding why, then it's to just accept that on faith. Yeah.
So I'm hearing a prompt to focus more on the desire and really look at it and go deep with it.
And could you name the desire again?
Yeah, let me restate it.
I was just going to read it.
Oh, it's good. We are staying on it. The desire for an experience of weakness and limitation to avoid divine function.
Oh, so it is related to what has been coming up. But yeah, we want to get underneath.
Yeah, get in touch with the avoidance.
Right.
That's what I'm hearing.
Any
Avoidance.
pleasure that comes from that, like, or pride, or sense of power.
I heard
that gets flipped, where
like juice, like we're getting like a little bit of juice out of
By
it.
avoiding?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we can stop that right now.
I hope so.
Are we ready for our miracle?
We haven't even looked at it. We haven't even relished it.
Get into that relishing.
Okay. Um, so what I heard is the ego, not only does the ego not like this is it, the ego doesn't like this isn't it either. It doesn't like either of those. So it's looking for any sort of way to distract from divine power, like through everything. God.
Yes. Yeah, thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And then we just see where we want to
Where we don't want to look, like right now.
affiliate with that. Or if we
Yeah.
don't want to look, we can admit that. Okay, I would rather do anything else than look at
Right.
this right now.
Yeah. That's probably
Yeah.
the best place to look.
Mhm. Because I get a yes when I was asking about, is this divine function? Is this divine function to join? And I hear yes on that.
Mhm.
So then it's just which voice is speaking, and getting clear on the listening part.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what value am I getting out of avoidance?
Well, I hear a lot of avoidance, and frankly, I'm getting the desire to be frustrated. There's a lot of talking. Yeah, honey, there's a lot of talking, but there's not much looking and being quiet and really going deep on this. It's just blah, 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 blah. So there you go. Are we going to relish or are we going to talk?
We're relishing, and we want to.
Okay, let's see it then.
Yeah, we also want to ask about holding and release, though, and express
We're
that.
not ready for that yet. We need to relish first. There's been a lot of talking.
Hmm.
What I'm hearing is that I don't know what weakness is. We're talking about the desire for weakness and limitation
Mhm.
to avoid divine function.
Yeah, like avoidance of looking at a of weakness.
Or not knowing what it is.
Mhm.
What is it, Jesus? What is weakness here in avoiding divine function?
Yeah, what I hear is it's weakness is the avoidance.
Hmm. Hmm.
not wanting to take on divine function, wanting to stay in the denial. If I'm embracing, what I'm hearing is if I'm embracing limitation and weakness, there's no way I'm going to take on divine function.
Mhm. Yeah,
I need to get clear on what the heck weakness and limitation is. I don't
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
it.
yeah, it's like an invitation. It's pushing the light out of awareness. So
Okay.
I think we need to ask Jesus, see what we hear.
Yeah. Oh, I heard it's the desire to take the play of consciousness seriously. What the ego will have us do is take the light seriously. I mean, I'm sorry, what the ego will have us do is take the play of consciousness seriously, when in actuality, all importance and seriousness should be directed towards the light of divine being, the honesty of God.
yeah, it feels like just staying with the desire. That's what it is. It's like that invitation to go deep with the relishing.
Yeah.
And like sit with it.
You know, I did a joining with this guy Simon the other day, and a question that came was, is there an easier way? So it feels like that's really what we're asking here is, okay, Jesus, is there an easier way to see this?
Yeah, avoidance is difficulty.
Yeah. Or is there a gentler way?
Or what?
A gentler way? Is there a gentler way to see this?
Gentler than what now?
Just more gentle?
Than looking at the desire?
No.
Then what?
Then what is? Then whatever it is we think we're perceiving.
Oh. I think the gentlest way is to look directly at it, look at the relishing.
Well, now I'm having something that comes up. It feels like following rules, and that feels kind of like it squashes out the life from things.
Following the rules, meaning focus on the
Like,
relation.
well, no, I think was focusing on the relishing is good, but it could get a little bit too religious, maybe.
I'm not quite sure I know what you mean.
Well, let's just ask Jesus. Do we have a desire to make this more complicated than it is?
I think it's pretty straightforward and simple, which is what he's been given with these joining sessions. You know, here's the desire, focus
Yeah.
on the relishing, ask for a miracle. That's pretty simple.
Yeah, but something's feeling a little bit like religious about it.
Yeah, I don't understand what you mean there. And maybe it's not important, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, we can focus on that. And also, Mary, what are you hearing about asking about holding and release?
Asking about holding and release.
Holding and
Yeah,
release,
yeah,
if
I
that's
think it's,
helpful
mm-hmm,
right now,
mm-hmm.
to just see if we're holding or releasing.
Yeah, okay. uh, all right.
I admit there's a desire there for that, for using weakness and limitation as an excuse not to be in full function with divine light.
Can we ask Jesus how we do it? Like, I'm not satisfied with the answer. Like, I don't really understand.
What weakness and limitation are?
Yeah, I mean, I understand denial of divinity. Like, I've heard that before, but I want a fresh answer from him, you know?
Mm. What I'm hearing
Yeah.
is that it's wanting to run away from hearing his voice, asking and listening and following.
Yeah, like there's something I'm gonna get out of avoidance. And
But,
the avoidance is thinking I know what divine function is. Like I have an
oh,
idea
yeah,
of what it
okay.
is, and then
Yeah, all right.
yeah.
That's what was feeling what I called religious. Like, now I
Mm.
see, yeah.
Mm.
Whatever that idea we formed that isn't really the light. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell Jesus how it is, like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah.
Or I don't know at all, but I'm going to avoid it anyway.
or I'm gonna do it my way.
Yeah.
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 Making an assumption of
Yeah. I'm gonna make it more go the long way, you know, kind of around the bottom of the mountain instead of take the elevator and just go straight to the top. Yeah.
yeah, we've been looking at like not knowing our advances from our retreats and how we like to play that there's that playing consciousness of kind of knowing what our
Yeah.
advances from our retreats are. And so there's the relishing of that. And that's like, what I hear is like that avoidance of divine function.
Yeah, I'm reminded of a passage I read this morning from Love Created Me Like Itself. It was something like, if love created you like itself, then you are advancing whether it feels like it or not, or something to that effect. And so I think we get invested in feeling either end of the spectrum, like thinking that really like emotionally happy state or emotionally low is like a sign of progress. It's not.
Yeah. Yeah, and we can just look in the light and see, if there's any advance or retreating going on in there.
Yeah.
And well, I'm hearing just to restate the desire again, so that we can see if we're ready for a miracle. The desire for an experience of weakness and limitation to avoid divine function.
Yeah, I'm hearing now if there's any other examples from the movie that can be thought of, that will be helpful.
Well, Diana's choice to try to bring Steve back so that she could have that wish fulfilled, and how her strength was diminishing because of the desire that was actually going against her divine function.
Yeah, that
So
was very clear.
She was believing that she's not happiness and then looking for it outside of herself. Yeah. Desire to play weakness, the littleness. Yeah. Yeah. I heard Jesus say, take the example from the movie and then see if there's any examples you can think of similar to the movie in the way that energy plays. Yeah, I can think of lots.
I see a pattern of just not asking, right away. It's like a way to avoid divine function is to not ask right away, or to ask and then get distracted by a million things.
Right. He says, ask me quickly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quickly go to the light.
Out there.
Huh?
Just to think that whatever's going on is out there, the weakness or the upset or whatever, rather than owning it as the source. I'm choosing to interpret a situation in such a way that I'm upset, and that's a weakness or avoidance of divine function, refusing to admit that I'm its source.
Yes, choice is definitely
I heard that preparing for something to go wrong is weakness at play. Yeah. So if I imagine that something is going to go wrong and then I start not listening to guidance and preparing for the worst, or something to happen, then I'm back in the weakness again, choosing to deny my divinity. Yeah.
Desire for self-terrorization.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I've been looking at that.
Yeah. And it feels like with choice, we're looking at, how the play it's a self-limiting. We're limiting ourselves. We're choosing weakness.
Yeah,
And
be you in charge.
and what do we think we're getting from that? Like, what's the investment there, the value of it?
We get to pretend we're not everything. Pretend we're not God.
Hmm.
It gives us something, though. Jesus, what does it give us?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
A little slice of the pie. my slice of pie. Yeah.
Like a sense of order, or belongings are two things that I hear. A sense of order or belonging. The other character, the other female character that was like the
Protagonist.
yeah, for Diana.
Was she Barbara? Was that her name?
Barbara. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
right.
Yeah, she
She did not want to give up her wish.
Yeah.
yeah, there was like this power in
The denial. Yeah. And the wish.
well, there was like the comparison. She was comparing herself with Diana, and they both seem to have like to be playing out kind of a thing where the other one had something they didn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's like we actually, this is what I hear, is that we're like below the choice, we see the divine power, and that's easy to see. It's just yeah, I hear to go back to the relishing of the desire, and then just sit with it for a little bit, and see if we're holding or releasing. Because I still feel like we are
Holding.
that there's some holding. So let's see. I'm going to just say it again. It's the desire for an experience of weakness and limitation to avoid divine function. So I can see that there's holding here. It's like wanting to say the right thing. That's how it's showing up at the moment.
One thing the spirit brought to my attention was how Barbara, like, she got that wish fulfilled, and you could see that it just hardened her more and more. Like, she just kept going down the boardwalk, of like the play of consciousness, and it didn't bring anything good. It just kept getting more and more insane.
Yeah.
More and more violent.
Extreme. Yeah.
Yeah. So every time we had the little flicker, the little twinge, we can remember Barbara and how that doesn't lead to a good place if we follow that. Yeah, there's a desire for the unholy instant is what it is.
What's that?
Desire for the unholy instant is what it is.
What I'm hearing, what he's saying is that weakness has to do with wanting constantly to be distracted by whatever's showing up rather than staying firm and going with guidance.
Well, what would you say is the excuse that comes up?
Whatever the distraction is or whatever's going on is more interesting and entertaining than going with God.
Is there a common one that comes up over and over?
Oh, you mean a common experience of mine?
Yeah. I bet you it will be the same. I bet you it will be the same one.
Yeah, mine is usurping the power of God.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
do. And yeah, I could see like with Barbara, her wanting to be the apex, like no one else, she's like the ultimate. So there's like the specialness, the pride, the pleasure of avoiding divine function, and how I can really, like, I really see how
So would you
that's like a heaven.
Would you say that's like an amplified version of what you experience?
Like her,
yeah,
the form that it was
the
playing out in.
the symbolism of what's playing out there.
Yeah, well, it's like Jesus is showing how it's the same. Like even if it doesn't appear that I'm going out and trying to usurp the power of God or something. Like it may not even look that way.
Yeah, that's that the flicker or like the twinge.
But internally there, it's like
yeah, I noticed that in movies they always do the amplified version of a thing that I'm experiencing inwardly.
Yeah.
Or that the ego is going
it appears to be outrageous. And like, whoa, like there's no way I have that.
Yeah. But something about that brings it up to see it more easily.
Yeah. And like Mary's saying, and what I was hearing is we step into it. Like, we step into it. And you were saying that too, like, there was some resistance coming up, and then it was like, well, I'm joining anyway. And then we just see that. That with the consistent looking, it's,
Yeah. What I was looking at this morning with the mighties here was the desire for self-punishment or self-terrorization, that somehow I've got a deep flip on that and equating that with happiness. And it shows up in that I get really pissed off when things don't go the way I think they should go, and I want to look outward and blame for it rather than saying, okay, step back here a minute, let's look.
Yeah. Well, I saw a movie called Words on Bathroom Walls last night. Great movie that David had on his list, and that one was clearly all about self-terrorization. So if you haven't seen that one, it's really good.
Is it on Netflix now, or how do we get it?
I don't know.
It's just newly out, isn't it?
Yeah.
I actually sent that trailer on to Kay. So we have a movie tonight. I don't know what we're going to be watching.
Perfect. You know, I hear this thing, it's like, especially during joinings, it'll be like, there's got to be something between obsessive and lazy. like it's like obsessive is the ego, like, am I following guidance? I need to make sure I'm following guidance. Like, I gotta, and then lazy is like, guidance, whatever. There's gotta, I mean, the middle path, the straight and narrow. It's like, that's what we're seeking, really. Okay,
Just
light.
bring
Yeah.
ourselves back like the cow in the barn, remembering to check in again and go for the light.
Yeah. Willingness to see it another way and ask for help and just
Yeah.
asking for help.
I think it's good. It would be good to ask if we're ready to receive a miracle or if there's more to look at here.
Mhm.
So, is it time for a miracle, Jesus, or is there more for us to look at?
Yeah, that's a beautiful reminder too, as well, here, because we kind of take turns facilitating and leading the light circle, but any one of us can ask,
Yeah.
if we're hearing, okay, I'm hearing to ask if we're ready.
Feels like there's still some holding. I'm not sure how much time we have, but I do feel some holding.
We're going over our time now.
Yeah, the alarm did go off a minute ago.
Oh, I didn't hear it. Never heard it.
I have it on mute.
Okay.
If we're right in the middle of something, I'll wait until there's a
Oh,
pause.
okay. Good. Yeah. Yeah. I just keep hearing that there's some more relishing on this one. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some more depth to go to. Yeah.
It's like we want to play ping pong. You know the game ping pong? We want
Uh-huh.
to play ping pong instead of.
Mhm.
How is that?
Kind of go from one extreme to another, or
Yeah. It's just, I heard the ego is like, it's just too much. It's too much. Like the light, the silence of the light is too much. Like, I got to go play ping pong again. Well, at least we're just exposing,
yeah,
just getting it out there. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
get
I
some
do.
action and movement going.
Yeah. I do remember in the course, it does say that rarely will anybody be expected to not have any magic involved in their journey towards the atonement.
Yeah.
There will always be at the level that we're able to handle at the time.
Yeah, and it is like you start to see how it's like a falling away.
Yeah.
It's like the desires dissolve in the light.
Yeah.
And so
So
then at first it may be like, whoa, this is solid. This isn't
yeah.
going anywhere.
This isn't going anywhere.
And
Yeah.
then, just like
Yeah.
through
I
the
mean,
journey, it's like, oh, it's starting to feel lighter. It's starting to
yeah.
dissolve and fade. And what was that? I don't even know what that was anymore.
Yeah, the more like that effortlessness and reminder of all minds being joined that comes in the joinings.
Yeah.
Like is that reminder of like if there's like force,
Mhm.
that doesn't really work, and oftentimes things fall away by some sort of grace, miraculous act of grace,
Yeah.
not really by our efforts.
Yeah.
Our effort is just showing up.
Yep. The willingness.
Focusing on the light. Yeah.
We were doing this in our light circles. willingness.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And the focus on talking.
And that's Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Willingness.
Nice.
Wonder Woman. What did you say, Mary?
The focus on talking with Jesus, that's the whole point of all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, to see that voice is natural. It's natural, and yeah.
I just heard that a light test would be good. Does the light need to play as weakness? Oh. There's a strong desire there to play as weakness.
To do what?
Play as weakness. Like, I can feel like a movement of energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's intense.
Yeah.
It's not the light that's intense. It's seeing that desire to hold on to the play of weakness.
Yeah, stay with the unmoving.
So Jesus, where are we at right now? What in this moment do we need to see for the healing of our mind?
It feels like complete for now, that we can rest in the light.
Big opening, big release. Not entirely. There's still a little bit of holding, but what about you, Mary? What you feeling?
I'm feeling it's a little incomplete, and so there's like a desire to look at this more, but not right now.
Yeah.
Come back to it.
So Jesus directed it to only be about 40 minutes?
Yes.
Okay. That's probably just because we're collapsing time. So it's like, it doesn't need a lot of time. We shouldn't need a lot of time. Yeah.
Yeah, what Kay keeps saying, or Jesus keeps saying through Kay, is that the more willing we are, the faster the miracle is ready to come. And when we're holding on, it's to look at what is, as this desire says, what is our desire for avoidance?
Yeah.
Yeah, and just to keep coming back to the desire, however many times it takes, and whatever he's guiding, if it's to join with him directly or with a brother. And then we just use the Joining in Light Miracle worksheet, which for anyone that's watching who would like to take a look at that, it's on the website on joininginlight.net. And you can find it in the app, the phone app as well. Yeah, it does feel complete. This session feels complete, and we'll be joining, let's see, tomorrow night will be a live. Do we know the theme for tomorrow, or?
No.
Okay. And we'll have Thursday evening will be for Wonder Woman as well. So we can join with our partners in between that to look at desires that come up around the movie Wonder Woman. Continue to look at this one, which I'll say it one more time. The desire for an experience of weakness and limitation to avoid divine function. And just know that you are divine function. And very grateful to have you here and join with you this evening. And I'll see you tomorrow evening.
Yay! Namaste. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.